Should you upgrade to Unity 6.3? It's been 4 weeks since the first 6.3 LTS drop, and after seeing V Rising drop their build times by 50% and have Marvel Snap reduce their type tree runtime memory usage by 99%, the answer seems pretty obvious. Now, the biggest reason why you might want to upgrade is because this is 6.3 LTS, meaning long-term support. So we're going to get 2 years of dedicated support of this version of the engine. If you are enterprise or industry, that bumps you up to 3 years total. And of course, there are the guidelines of should you update, should you not update? And this always kind of boils down to the same thing. Unity recommends that any live service games or developers who are about to lock into production on a specific version of Unity and any new or mid-cycle productions. But if you're about to release, you should probably just stick with the version you have so you can avoid any hiccups that you might have updating to the newest version. And if it's your first time watching me, I'm Fistful of Shrimp. I cover Unity VR tutorials, but I also like to cover, in general, Unity news and game development. And what I wanted to do with this video was not just cover like whether or not you should update. I wanted to highlight some of the key features that came with 6.3, but also some of the features you might have forgot about that came in 6.1, 6.2, up to 6.3, because that all comes in the same package. Now, first up with 6.3 is their platform toolkit. It offers simplified cross-platform development by unifying critical features like save data, account management, control ownership, and achievements into a single API built-in workflow. So if you're planning on developing for a bunch of platforms such as these, this toolkit is going to make your life a ton easier. Now you can set it all up and deploy it in one go. Pretty nice. 6.3 is also coming in with a ton more of performance and stability improvements. And lucky for us, they didn't just test this on themselves and said we did it. They tested it with a bunch of studios who already have games out there. So things like Phasmophobia, V Rising, Den of Wolves, all of these games, they tested out all this stability and performance increases. And the stability and performance increases covers a wide range of things, such as the UI toolkit, shader graphs, the scriptable build pipeline, and also the profiler. And one improvement I'm a big fan of is quicker play mode entries. So when you click that little play button, you can hop in and test your game even faster with 6.3. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, they do mention some stats here from different studios that have had these improvements. Things like V Rising reducing their build time by 50%, Disco Elysium type tree runtime memory usage is down 97%, while Marvel Snap is down 99%. So these improvements all seem nice. This isn't one I particularly dabble in, but for anyone in the 2D world, we are getting performance improvements in 6.3. Things like we're seeing multi-threading in 2D animation, as well as a new API for 2D physics. So they noticed that the engine needs more scalability, consistency, and performance optimizations for physics. So they have made a new 2D physics low-level API, which is based off of the Box 2D version 3. Now, I wish I could tell you more about it, but I just don't dabble in 2D, but from my understanding is if it's going to make it more scalable and consistent and performant, then we can have more vampire survivors, except with even more physics involved. Now, if that isn't enough for all the 2D homies out there, we also got the ability to render 3D as 2D. So you can now drop your 3D mesh directly into a 2D sorting layer and have them react to 2D lighting natively. Pretty nifty. And along with this update, we get things like new visual effect graph templates, which is always nice to see. And we also have something very cool here with shader graph. We have new customized lighting content. So just more examples and things to play with shader graph and visual effects graph. Always nice to see. Now, when you're considering updating to 6.3, you're not just getting all the features in 6.3, you're also getting some of the key features I wanted to list from 6.1 and 6.2. So with 6.1, we got things like Deferred Plus. If you're using the Universal Render Pipeline, this is going to be able to accelerate your GPU performance using cluster-based light culling for more lights. We also got Variable Rate Shading. So this was added for both URP and HDRP, and it improves performance by rendering different parts of the screen at different shading rates. So essentially, this lets you reduce GPU workload in areas that players aren't really going to notice. So things like your peripheral vision in VR or regions that you already know are going to be low detail. For my XR developers, this is where we got build profiles for platforms like the Meta Quest, and with that came things like support for shader graph with URP application Space Warp. If you don't remember what Space Warp is, it's kind of Meta's way of doing what NVIDIA does with DLSS. So your application would have 32 frames per second, and then Space Warp would then bump up the frames to 72 by interpolating all the frames in between and adding them in, which is kind of what DLSS does. And I get that Space Warp and DLSS, they do things differently under the hood technically, but don't fry me. This is just like an in general overview video. Give me a break. Now with 6.2, we got AI features if you're into that kind of thing and want to experiment with it. But I know everyone's a little touch and go with AI, and we'll see if Unity's implementation of it will be fruitful for us as developers. Now, 6.2 was also the introduction of Graph Toolkit, so you could build custom editor-based graph tools, which was nice and everything, but I did already kind of mention it in 6.3 since they continue to make improvements to it. Now, probably one of the biggest features in 6.2 that got released for us was Mesh LOD. So it is a level of detail system that automates the generation and management of simplified meshes for objects that are far away. And using this feature greatly improves your performance, and it is massive whether you are doing VR, mobile, or any type of game development. 6.2 is also where we saw their new UI toolkit get introduced to World Space UI. They're still going to support the old UI tools, but it's really nice to see UI toolkit get added into World Space, because without it in XR games, we couldn't use the UI toolkit because we have to use, World Space UI. Now, there were a ton of more features added between 6.0 and 6.3, but I just wanted to highlight a few to help you answer the question yourself if you want to update to 6.3. If you found this video informative, consider giving me a like. It does help me out a ton. And if you're starting a new project, or if you are still pretty far out from publishing your game, I do think you should give 6.3 a shot and see if it's right for you. I've been impressed with what Unity has been putting out over the past couple of years and the new direction they've been going in. I'm optimistic that the engine will continue to get better, be more performant, and more stable while we get more features added in, because, they have been following through on their swing. Let me know in the comments if I missed some features that you think are important that should be mentioned so others can see it. A big shout out to my patrons for helping, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!